What are you listening to?
The Get to Know podcast.
You're listening to the Get to Know.
Podcast.
Get to Know.
Hello again, guys. This is Liam, and you're locked into the Get to Know podcast. If you're listening, big up yourself. You are a G. So, my guest today is a business owner, first and foremost, which I respect. I honestly respect for anyone that owns their own business, man. I know it's a lot of hard work. Now, this particular business owner I've known for a very long time. In fact, she was in my class at primary school. I remember there was one time in year 1. I'd been messing around in assembly. Like, my mate and I was just cracking up at stuff. And then I got in trouble at the end of the day. It was like assembly in the afternoon. And I don't know why, I just started bawling. And I was just bawling for time. And this girl, like, everyone had gone. And this girl, she was like, Liam, you've got to stop crying, otherwise you'll die. But joke's on her, because 20 years later, I'm live running a podcast. But yeah, man, big her up. Today I am joined by the owner of Pose Aesthetics, Lauren Shaleeca. She specializes in non-surgical cosmetic treatments. It was really good to hear about her journey and also the industry itself and why bigger lips are in these days, because it was not the case when I was young, and I wish it was, because yeah, it was a bit peak for man still. But yeah, man, it was a good conversation. Stay tuned. Okay, it's the Get to Know podcast, and I am joined today by Lauren Shaleeca, the owner of Pose Aesthetics. Lauren, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. How are you, Liam?
I'm really well, thank you. Good to see you again. It's been so
It
long.
has,
But yeah,
10 years.
uh, I know. Oh, making me sound old. Yeah, but it's good to see you doing so well, and we'll find out more about you and your brand
Thank you.
very shortly. But how have things been for you recently? Obviously, we've had the lockdown. Even now, we're still in tier 3.
So at start it was a little bit like, oh my god, what's going on? But I think I've just kind of like, I've gotten used to everything now. So I'm just taking it day by day, like, just taking it day by day. But I'm good, to be fair, I am good.
Good. All right. So to kick things off, we're gonna do the quick fire round. So this will just enable the listeners to kind of get to know you a little bit before we get into things.
Okay.
So I'll give you a series of questions with 2 options, and you just got to choose one. Okay.
Okay, no problem.
All right. Sweet. So firstly, English or maths?
Maths.
Films or TV series?
TV series, definitely.
Messi or Ronaldo?
Ronaldo.
Xbox or PlayStation?
I would say PlayStation.
Cats or dogs?
Oh, no one's gonna like this. Like cats. Cat.
Okay, that's not a bad answer.
Yeah. Unusual answer.
Do you not like dogs?
No, I like dogs, but I used to have a cat. So I've never had a dog before, so that's why it's cats.
Okay. Apple or Android?
Oh, Apple, definitely.
Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
Kanye West or Jay-Z?
Oh, Kanye West. You're like, yeah.
Biggie or Tupac?
Tupac. I've had a crush since way dark with Tupac, so definitely Tupac.
Spider-Man or Batman?
Batman.
Instagram or Twitter?
Instagram. Definitely.
Winter or summer?
Oh. Um, winter vibes, summer clothes. No, sorry, summer vibes, winter clothes. That if I can do that.
Fair enough. Okay, great. Thank you, Lauren. So, to get into things, talk to me about you growing up and then leading into the decision to get into nursing.
Oh, so me growing up. So when I was little, I always kind of like had a love for kids. It's really strange because it doesn't really link with what I'm doing now, but I always had a love for kids and I always knew like I wanted to care for little kids and all that. So when I was doing, like the work experience in school that we had to do, I actually had my work experience in a nursery. And then from there, it kind of like guided me to maybe thinking, maybe do child nursing. When I was looking into it, I had in my head that I wanted to work my way up, so be like assistant, ward manager, and continuous. And I was told that it was harder to work, your way up in children's nursing or midwifery for some reason, because it's very competitive. I don't know. It's just not that much of a jump. So then I thought, okay, let me try adult nursing because there's more opportunities you can branch off into when you do adult. There's just more opportunities. So I kind of just like went for it, then decided to go to uni. And then, that's pretty much how I came up with the idea.
Okay. And so where did you go uni?
I went to Liverpool John Moores University, in 2013.
And when, sorry?
2013.
Okay. So what was the path into uni once you'd decided that was what you wanted to do?
So it was obviously applying. Do you know what? It's so long ago. I actually can't remember. Well, it's not that long ago, but my memory's really bad. I think that you apply through UCAS. You get all your points from obviously your A levels, and then like you obviously pick your selection. So my first selection was actually Manchester. But background, I used to dance a lot, so I had an audition, Britain's Got Talent, in Manchester, and I just fell in love with the city, so I wanted to go there for uni, but obviously unfortunately I didn't get in, and then my second option was Liverpool, so that's how I ended up getting into there. So multiple interviews, very daunting, but Liverpool, but it's the best decision I ever made.
So did you choose A-level subjects in the hope of doing nursing?
No, I actually wanted to do psychology and dance. So one of the two.
Okay.
But my parents were like, get a vocational job. That's something that you can always have for the rest of your life. So like teacher, nursing, anything like that. So then obviously in my head, dancing was out. Like I would just continue dancing as a passion, as a hobby, and psychology. My teacher actually basically said I wasn't clever enough to do psychology, so that kind of threw me off. And then so they don't really link. I just done anything really, but then stumbled into nursing.
And so, how did you get into cosmetic nursing and procedures?
Okay, so I qualified as a nurse in 2016, and then I went on to care of the elderly ward, which kind of like specialised in dementia patients. So I was on there for about 2 years, and then because I'm very much into my beauty anyway. So someone was like, "Why don't you go into aesthetics? Like you'll be perfect for it." I didn't think at the time it was for me because it was an industry that was like unknown to me. So I just had no idea what it was about. So I just thought it wouldn't fit me at that time. So then I was going through like a life change at that time. Like broke up with my partner at the time, and just thought, you know what, I'm gonna go for it. So then I actually trained in Liverpool again. I trained in Pose Aesthetics and Cosmetica. They specialise in training medics. So just went into that. It's like multiple courses I've took, and that's kind of like that's how I stumbled into it. It's just like a whim really, but honestly, I'm so glad I've done it. It's like I feel like this is me now, set now.
So how long did that take?
So that took, So you're constantly training with aesthetics. So even now, I am still looking to train in more courses. So it took, in total, I've been doing it about 2 years. So I'd say the course is not that long. The courses would be around about 2 days here and there each course, and I've taken about 5. But it's a lot of research. You get tested. Talks about the anatomy. It's just very in depth. But it didn't take that long to qualify, but you're further learning as you go through the years.
Okay, so talk to me about after you've qualified and then setting up Pose Athletics. Talk to me about that journey.
So I've qualified. First thing I thought was, right, get an Instagram. Just because I know how popular Instagram is for, especially with our generation and growing a business, and obviously like engagement. So I thought, get an Instagram, find a name. So originally I was actually called something else. It's a very weird name. There was actually not much link. It was called Megan Rose Aesthetics, and that was purely because my favourite actor was Megan Good. So what I'm gonna call it, Megan. Yeah. And then clients kind of found it very confusing, which of course they would. And then I eventually changed it to Pose Aesthetic last year. So yeah, it was just like Instagram, Facebook, find a logo, promote, and start. Yeah.
So was it always your intention to set up your own business as opposed to maybe getting a job employed as a cosmetic nurse?
Yeah, so when I be qualified as a nurse, I always knew in my heart that I probably wouldn't do this job forever, even though I loved it to the core, and I always love helping people, and I will always do my nursing. It is still a passion of mine, but I always knew that I wanted to be my own boss, and there was always something missing. So I think I always knew that I wanted to start my own business, just didn't know what in.
Sure. So talk to me about the growth since then, because I saw that the other day you were in Dubai. So talk to me about how the business has developed since then.
So I started off, so obviously I lived in Liverpool at the time, so I started promoting there first, and then obviously Wolverhampton, with it being my hometown, and I just started just promoting in both cities, and I would then come back to Wolves like twice a month and do like 3-day stretch and just do my clinics here, there. I would started at home. My mum like converted one of my rooms into like a little clinic, so I started there at first, and then like just gradually built my clientele. Wolverhampton is actually probably my busiest clinic. Yeah, which is quite weird considering I don't live here full time anymore, but it's that one of the busiest actually. Um, so yeah, started in Wolves, built that up, and then my friend called Hannah, she owns a salon in Stafford called Curletta Beauty. She was like, "Oh, do you want to start a clinic here? I love your work," and I was like, "Yeah." So then I started doing clinics in Stafford once a month, and then moved to Manchester, and then from Liverpool, and then I started doing it there. So that's kind of how I just rent different rooms out in different cities, and then just gradually build my clients. In regards to Dubai, that's a new thing. It's not 100% confirmed yet, so I can't speak much about it.
Okay.
That is my, dream to, have something in Dubai or even work there, even if it's not aesthetics, something to do with beauty. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
And what are the most popular procedures?
Most popular is lip enhancements, most popular, and then I would say Botox.
I want to know is how did bigger lips become cool? Because when I was in school, like it definitely wasn't cool to have big lips.
No, it wasn't. We used to get taken the mick out of, didn't we?
Exactly.
Do you know what? It's the trends, it's Instagram, it's the celebrities, it's Kim Kardashians, it's all those, influencers that's influenced the world. And I do think a lot of people have always been maybe self-conscious of their lips. So I think maybe a lot of people were scared to get these treatments in the past because they didn't, maybe it was more frowned upon, and they just, maybe didn't have the confidence. But now that everyone else is doing it, now that people are getting more, comfortable with doing what they want, doing what makes them feel happy, then I just think it's, just skyrocket. Like it's the new trend. Everyone wants it. So I think that's just how it's happened.
You're listening to the Get to Know podcast.
So, like, there are people that kind of think they're against any sort of work, and I think, social media encourages people to look a certain way. Is that something you take into consideration when kind of running your business and promoting it?
I do, because personally for me, obviously my work is not natural in terms of, the products I'm using are not natural. But my work as a whole is very subtle and a more of a natural approach. Whereas if you maybe look at others, they're more, what's the word? They're just more out there, more big. Um, so I do take it into consideration. Like I don't want to pressurize any people to get their lips done. if you're 18 and younger, you can't, like, I won't treat you. You have to be, a certain age where you can consent and, you're mentally, what you want. Do you know what I mean? Um, and I think it's a very difficult one. It's a very difficult one because social media, regardless, influences everybody. And no matter what, there's gonna, no matter what, there's gonna be like bad influences out there. So you've got to try and I suppose be true to yourself and do what you know is right in your heart. And do you get what I mean? Can't
Yeah,
really explain myself very well. Very rubbish at explaining myself.
no,
But
I
yeah.
get what you're saying. And so, how much of a role do you think social media plays in people wanting to get work done?
Oh, massively.
And
I think it's probably the number one factor of it, if not the
do,
only factor. To be fair.
do you think it's a problem?
Um. Yes and no. So obviously for myself, it obviously creates business. But then also it's a massive problem in terms of people's mental health. So a lot of people feel like when it comes to social media that they look at somebody's life and they think I want to be like that. They're so happy, and they will then feel like their life is not good enough. When most of the time that's not the case. Like a lot of people do not show the bad times they're going through or when they're sad. So it's a fake world. But a
Yeah,
lot of young generation don't realize that, and I think it has a really effect on their mental health a lot. So in that sense, no, it's not a good thing.
yeah, it's a bit of a strange one because people only show their best selves on social media, don't they? They're not
Yeah,
going to share the bad times; it's just the good times, and that's understandable. Like I get it, but it's just how people interpret that. But I guess you could also
yeah,
argue that maybe that's not that person's fault. You know what I mean? Like for example, if
yeah.
I'm only showing what's good, like about my life, like
Hmm.
that's down to me. But I don't know. It's
Right.
strange. It's strange. It's perceptions.
Yeah.
It's everything.
I think you've got to. I think the main thing is you've got to be happy within yourself first. If you are truly happy within yourself, which is really hard to be, you won't. It won't really affect you as much as what other people are doing. So like even myself, like sometimes I look at people and think, oh my God, she's so pretty, like why does she take so good pictures? Like how do I take pictures like that? But then sometimes I come back to reality and I think, Lauren, I know how it works. I have a business, I know how it is. Like um stop getting too attached and just step away and think, you know what, I'm happy. What I've got going on is good. I should be grateful, and that's that. Do you know what I mean? So
That's really good, man. That's a great attitude to
yeah.
take because there are going to be times where you see things and it's like I don't know, someone's got this brand new car and you're like, oh man, like fair play. But I think
Right.
that's the thing. It's like I don't know. I think me, I've got to a point where I can look at something that's someone's doing
Mhm.
well and I can just appreciate it. Like you know what, good for you. I'm not necessarily thinking, yeah, I need to have that, but I'm just thinking, you
Yeah.
know what, yeah,
Like
that
you're happy,
hold tight you
right?
for getting that. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
Because
Yeah, you're happy.
yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. Like your time will come. So
Yeah, definitely. I find in business, so that's something I have to constantly tell myself like my time will come. So if I see other people who are doing like who are extremely successful, and I obviously aspire to be like that, sometimes I feel like I want it now, 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 now. And sometimes it's just you need to take your time. Like your journey is your journey, someone else's journey that's theirs, and take your time. And what is meant to be will be, and your what is for you, and it will come eventually. Do you know what I mean? So yeah,
exactly.
that's also a good thing. Yeah,
And plus, it's only been what 2 years since you've been running your
yeah,
business. So you're still in the
yeah,
early days.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah.
So non-surgical cosmetic procedures, so they can kind of be done. They can be done by anyone. It's I've done some research and it's kind of described as the Wild West. Now, of course, you're a nurse. You know, you're fully qualified, and that is, of course, a USP. But do you think that there should be more regulation?
Yes, so there is in this industry. It's a touchy subject, a very touchy subject because it's almost um, medics versus non-medics. So when they say non-medics, they're referring to beauticians, and this constant war battle going on, who should do what. So I have a lot of friends who are non-medics who are beauticians who do amazing work, who know exactly what they're doing, who, if there's an emergency, they know what to do. Um, but I also do think because it's a very relatively new industry to the UK, we've not caught up in terms of the regulations and a little bit more of the safety aspects of it. So I do think that needs to be looked at. I do think they maybe need to bring something else out, another qualification, maybe to say, if you have this, I don't know, this is just a massive gap in terms of where everybody stands, and I just think it needs to be sorted so everyone can all get along and we'll all support each other and all, make our business better. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
a hard one. It's a hard one.
I mean, so when you say beauticians and non-medics, so they're doing the same work as you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Doing exactly the same work. Yeah.
Okay, and all right. So what do you think people should consider when they are going to get work done?
Okay, so personally for me, if I was to get a treatment done, things I'd look for is, are they qualified? How long have they been qualified? Personally for me, hmm, I would say, I would feel more comfortable with someone who had a medical background. That's just personally for me. However, then when I look at people's work and I see people how they run their business and the knowledge that they have. Like there's some beauticians who have more knowledge than me. So for example, Sophia Bailey Aesthetics, like I would go to her and get a treatment, and she's not a medic, but she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's talking about. Um, but if for somebody who doesn't really know much about it themselves, they don't really know what treatment they're going to get. I would say research what qualifications, how long they've been qualified, if they have emergency stock. So, for example, like adrenaline, hyaluronidase. Sorry, you're probably not going to know what these are, but they're just emergency. If anything goes wrong, these are the drugs that we would give to reverse, any sort of reactions. Um, and also price point is a very big factor to know whether you should go to that person or not. So you don't really want to go to someone who's too cheap, because if it's too cheap, why is it too cheap? Do you know what I mean? Like where they're getting the products from, are the products reliable? Are you getting a good quality of products? It's just different little factors to consider, really.
So you mentioned the qualifications. So what are the qualifications that anyone doing these procedures should have?
So it's different for if you are medical, if you're not. So obviously with me being medical, I obviously went to uni. You don't have to obviously do that avenue, but that's my journey. You definitely need to have like beginners in dermal filler and injectables, and then you would then need to go into your advanced work a couple of years later, and then you would then go on to your master classes, if you chose to. That's not a necessity. That's just further learning yourself, progression, and then you just continue to train. So I think as long as they have their basics, like their beginners, and then onto their advances, then that's all you would need really to, they're the main things.
You're listening to the Get to Know podcast.
And what have been the challenges you've had to face?
Oh, challenges. I don't feel like I've had to come many, to be honest. I'd say one of the really most challenging things is building your clientele, promoting your work, because within this industry there's thousands of people who do the same work as me. So it's not so much of a competition, but it's you have to stand out in order to get clients. Now there's enough people in this world to go around, so there's enough for everyone, you know what I mean? So I don't believe in I believe in supporting each other. That's what I believe in. But I would say it's definitely hard to build your clientele when there's 10 other people doing it on the same street as you. Do you know what I mean? Same goes with Instagram. So hard to build your followers on Instagram, just because everybody has loads of followers. And yeah, I'd say that really. And challenge that I'm actually facing now is where to, obviously in the future, if I was to ever open a proper clinic, where would I open it? Because I'm in so many different cities, where would I start? That's a hard one for me at the moment. I'm trying to figure it out.
That's a pretty decent challenge to have.
Well, yeah, I suppose, yeah. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, and also challenges, obviously being a black woman in the aesthetic world. That's also maybe another challenge I've faced. It's not a major one, to be fair, but it's unusual for us. It's unknown, and I think it's mainly within our culture. It's obviously these types of treatments are not very popular within our culture, so it can be frowned upon a lot. But I do feel like times are changing, and a lot more black women are getting these treatments. Even if they're small enhancements, they're getting them, and they feel more confident with themselves that no one's going to judge them too much. And I also feel like me being a black woman doing aesthetics, a lot more may feel comfortable with maybe coming to me and not as embarrassed about having to get these treatments done. So yeah, that at first was a bit of a challenge because I was very scared to show my face on my social media, on my business page, because I was worried what people would think, what they would say, or they wouldn't want to come to me. Yeah, but I feel like I'm overcoming that a little bit more as days go on.
So how did you get the confidence to kind of, show your face a little bit more?
Posting more pictures of myself on the business page so people know who I am. Talking, engaging with your followers, in your stories. Just, like how you create a story, you talk through your, to your clients through your stories. And just obviously, when clients come and see me, when they actually come and get their treatments, that's also how I built my confidence, because it made me realise that, what, I'm not different, like it's fine, like no one cares. Do you know what I mean? I can get on with it. So yeah.
And you said building your clientele, that was a challenge. So how did you go about doing that?
At first I just followed loads of people. And I did a lot of discounts also at the start, and word of mouth is very powerful. I think word of mouth is probably the most powerful way to build your clientele. And yeah, so a combination of those three, I'd say. Yeah.
Okay. So, I actually saw a story very recently about a nurse. She was saying that she didn't earn nearly enough money, as a nurse. What she did, she started doing cosmetic treatments on the side, and she was able to considerably supplement her income. So
Right.
what do you think the rise of these cosmetic procedures might have on the nursing industry, if any at all? Because there's
Oh,
you can obviously earn significant money doing that, but it's well documented that nurses don't get paid enough.
yeah. So are you asking me what the impact is on the maybe nursing levels, nursing staff in the hospital?
As in, I think people might be less interested in that type of nursing and more interested in the cosmetic.
Yeah, I think I do see it becoming more popular where a lot of people are just going into nursing to do aesthetics. Personally, I disagree with that, just because I feel like you're wasting like the NHS resources and stuff like that. And if you're truly not into looking after people, taking care of people, why would you want to become a nurse? That's my theory behind it. See, for me, if you love to look after people, you want to save people's life, 100%. And then if you want to then go into aesthetics later on in your life, of course, why not make more money? But I don't feel like taking advantage of the system and just, like just becoming a nurse when you don't even care about people. Do you know what I mean? It's just a bit.
Yeah.
But
I understand.
But then you can't knock people's hustle, so I suppose do what floats your boat.
So when was the last time you worked a shift as a general nurse? An adult nurse, sorry.
My last shift was actually so I decided to go full time a month before COVID happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a month before COVID, which I suppose is a very bad thing and a very good thing. But either way, whatever job while I do, I'd still be at risk. Do you know what I mean? So, obviously, a month before COVID happened, but I'm still a nurse. I am actually going back in January. I still want to be able to do shifts here and there, so I'm maybe going to try do once or two a week, because I just want to keep on top of my skills. I don't want to lose my knowledge, and I want to continuously build on the knowledge that I have, because at the end of the day, it benefits me as a person, benefits my business, and it benefits my clients, because then I have more knowledge on the anatomy and how to handle situations if anything goes wrong for my clients. So and I worked really hard to get to be a nurse. Like, it was 3 intense years. So I don't want to lose that, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm going to go back in Jan.
Nice. You looking forward to it?
Yes and no, because I'm not. I'm looking forward to, because I've not been for so long. It's going to be exciting, and I love to care the elderly. I love elderly people. They're so lovely to talk to, and honestly, looking after them is a joy, and not everyone can do it. So I'm excited for that, but I'm not excited for the shifts and the pay and the business. Oh my God, and being understaffed. I'm just not looking forward to that.
Of course. So how was it running the business during COVID?
It's not very good, because we were closed for most of these months. So I think so we were obviously closed for that lockdown period, the first lockdown period, and then when everyone could go back to work, we still were closed for about another 2 months. Do you know what? It's all jumbled into one. I can't actually remember what's happened this year. But I think I was then allowed to open for maybe 2 months, and then we had to close again recently. And now we've only recently been let open, but I feel like we're going to close again. So it's a constant battle. You just don't know what's going on. Yeah. So yeah, it's been hard in that sense. But I feel like I'm a very positive person, so I don't let it get me down too much, because there's nothing I can do about it. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
So, how did you spend your lockdown?
Oh, at home. So I moved to Manchester 2 days before we went on lockdown. Typical. So I literally stayed in my beautiful new flat for like how many months? What was it for? How long was the lockdown for?
I think the first lockdown was about 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, so I just literally stayed in my flat every day, all day, just like, yep. But it was nice. I think it helped that it was a new surrounding, because where I lived in Liverpool, it was a house share. So we used to share the bathroom, but we all had our own room, and literally it's just one room. And I think if I had spent my lockdown there, I would have gone insane. So it was a blessing in disguise that I moved when I did.
So, what are your long-term goals, Lauren?
Wow. Okay. I was trying to figure this out the other day because I have so many ideas, but I just don't know where to start. Long-term goals. To just be very, very successful. Multiple clinics in different cities, and then obviously branch off abroad. Start my own like product company, like to do with aesthetics, like like the aftercare gel that we'd put on the lips, stuff like that. Start my own product line. What else? Teaching in the future. I want to teach other people, so training courses. What else? I don't know.
That's quite a lot there, to be fair.
Yeah, I've got a lot of ideas and I just don't know. I'm just everywhere at the moment, but yeah, that's my future plans.
All right, great, thank you.
This is Iman Lake, and you're listening to the Get to Know podcast.
All right, so now we're going to move on into the trivia section. So I'm going to give you 5 questions just regarding your line of work, okay? And so it's multiple choice, so we'll see how you get on. No pressure.
Okay.
All right, first question. In 2018, what was the most popular non-surgical cosmetic procedure globally? Now, is it A, liposuction, B, Botox, or C, hair removal?
Liposuction. It's a really hard one because hair removal has just started to become popular. Botox has always been popular, and lipo. I want to say lipo. I don't know. Can I say lipo? I don't know.
You want to say lipo?
It's too hard. Yeah, it's probably not lipo. I bet it's hair removal.
It is actually Botox.
Oh, that was the safest option. I should have just went with the safest option. Botox is always popular. 1 to Liam, 0 to me.
Now, to be fair, I can't be competing. I know all the answers. So, next question. Statistics from the British Association of Aesthetic Plastic Surgeons stated that virtual consultations rose by up to how much during lockdown? Is it A, 40%, B, 60%, or C, 70%?
70.
That is correct. It's 70%.
Hey.
All right. Next question. Last year, Kylie Jenner sold the majority share of her cosmetics brand to Coty for how much? Is it A, 500 million, B, 600 million, or C, 800 million? And this is dollars.
I remember this being on the blog page, and I remember thinking, "Oh my God, she's got the money." Damn. Nah, she wouldn't have done that. 500 million.
It was actually 600 million.
Close. I was thinking she wouldn't have sold it for 800. That's too much because she'd have to give more of the percentage away.
Yeah, it was actually 51% that she sold.
Oh, so she sold more than she's got?
Yeah.
So she gave a more percentage for it?
Yeah. All right. Next
Wow.
question. In 2018, which European country had the most cosmetic procedures? Is it A, Germany, B, the UK, or C, Turkey?
Turkey.
It was actually A, Germany.
Wow, I'm really bad at this, aren't I? Oh my god,
I
I should
knew
be
that would throw
right.
you though. Turkey, like
I
I would have,
wouldn't say-
yeah, I probably would have guessed Turkey as well.
All I hear is about Turkey. Are they sure that's right?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, in 2018, maybe for 2019 it'd be different.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Germany. Okay,
Yeah, I was surprised when I saw that.
fair enough.
All right. So, final question. In 2015, the number of cosmetic surgical procedures hit a record high, but there was a significant drop the following year. How much did the number fall by? Was it A, 40%, B, 45%, or C, 60%?
Oh god. What happened in 2016? In what country? Where we're talking? Worldwide or UK?
Yeah, it was worldwide, I believe. I think it was, yeah. I think what it was, there was a huge rise in non-surgical cosmetic procedures.
Oh, I get you. 60%. I'm wrong.
It was actually 40%.
Oh, what? I'm so over this.
Uh, yeah, do you know what? Those were hard questions, to be honest.
I hate losing.
Before I let you go, obviously we've just had the
Okay.
end of year Apple Music replay and Spotify Wrapped. So I'd like to know who is the most listened to artist this year.
So I don't actually have Spotify. However, I can tell you who it probably would be if Apple did that. iTunes
Apple do
probably
it, you
should have said,
know. I'll
do
send you
they?
a link. Apple, yeah, it's they don't promote it as much. It's a bit harder to find, but they do it. I'll send a link to you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I would say Summer Walker, Sinead Harnett,
Hmm.
and Claudia. What's her second name? Can't remember her second name. But very soulful, quite slow jam type of music. And then
Yeah,
I would then say
nice.
probably attachment or dancehall because that's gonna be.
Of
So
course.
yeah, those. Yeah.
Oh, great. So, Lauren, what can we expect to see from you in the near future?
Hopefully more clinics, more locations, training, and products.
Yeah,
That's
good.
hopefully in the near future.
All right, I look forward to seeing that. Lauren, thanks again for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I wish you all the best in the business.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. It's been lovely speaking to you, Liam. Long
Oh, thank
time.
you, Lauren. I know, Lauren. Thank you.
You're listening to the Get to Know podcast.
Okay, so there we have it. Lauren Shaleeca, owner of Pose Aesthetics. Big her up for coming on, man. That was a great episode. Really good to catch up with her and hear about her business and how well she's doing. It was also really good for her to kind of tell people what they should be looking out for if they're looking to get any work done. I think that's really important. You can follow her business, Pose Aesthetics, on Instagram. So it's just Pose Aesthetics. You can also follow Lauren, that is Lauren Shaleeca XX. As always, these will be in the notes, so give her a follow. So, I have another show to recommend for you, and this one is a belter. It's called Parks and Recreation. You may have heard of it. Quite a popular show, but it is hilarious. It was one of those, I watched it, and then I started watching it again, like pretty much straight away. It's a great show. So if you like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and if you like The Office US version, although UK one is better, but that's a debate for another day, you will love this. So it's actually made by the same people that make the US Office, and also one of the creators of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So it's a mockumentary format. It follows Leslie Knope. She's the main character. It's a great cast though. And basically it's a government parks department. So it's just following, their lives. But yeah, it's a great show. Like, strongly recommend this. But any show I recommend on here bangs. So just trust my judgment. You can find this on Amazon Prime or on Sky, or if you have Now TV, the entertainment package, you can catch it on there. Alright, so that is it from me. Follow the socials. So on Twitter, it's at GetToKnowPod. On Instagram, it is GetToKnowPodcast_. I wanted to have the same on each, but apparently Get to Know Pod is not available on Instagram. Although when I searched for it, I could not find anyone with that username. But you know what, I sees you, Instagram, doing me dirty. But yeah, big up yourselves for tuning in, man. Honestly, I really appreciate it. I have more fire content coming for you, so keep an eye out. Make sure you subscribe. And I'll be back next week. Big up yourself. Also, big up Jurgen Klopp. Big up Larry David. And yeah, everyone that is locked in, safe.